Hello and welcome. My name is Trismegistus, and today we're going to be playing some more Krastorio 2. Spaced out, the branch of I'm just checking my levels, make sure everything's right and that it's coming through. It's all right on Twitch. They fiddled about with YouTube again. They're always fiddling about with YouTube, so it didn't show the same stuff. But there you go. Yeah, it seems to be okay. Cool. Except that's incredibly inconvenient. Well done, YouTube. How can I cover that over? Let's see now. If we just maybe do that, that's kind of rubbish, but there we go. Oh well. Yes, so Krastorio 2. I'm back on Nalvis, even though we have been fiddling about on Folgora, trying to make a, let's call it a sort of a starter base over there. Oh, excuse me, you're in already, I don't know. Wait, what did that do? No, it's fine. Bish, 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 bish. There we go. No, we don't. There we go. There we go. Cool. Yes, so I was going to show you Folgora, wasn't I? Which basically is chugging away. I have noticed this one here is like completely jam-packed full because it's not really able to put the stuff out on the belt, which is fine, but it got 180 holmiums just sort of sat there. Really, I should have upgraded this to red, or maybe flip those onto a dual lane. But we don't have bots here, so we're kind of stuck really. So it is what it is. It is happening. There is sciencing happening, but it's very slow. This is just not getting any of the cards, and that's because it's not making holmium. And as we saw, a lack of holmium is the key problem, because it's not even putting out the the tiny amount that it's getting in. So yeah, very, very slow. I don't know, in fact I don't know how many have we done. 155, and so that would be, we're about 15% then, because those stack to 1,000. 1,000 will let us do a lot of science, when we eventually get it here, but it is fine if it's just sort of chugging away. What I did think about doing, maybe, was a bit of a copy-paste on this guy. Because what we're back on Nalvis to do is sort out Imersite and related technologies, because I didn't realise you could do that pre-planets. So I say, what I think we might do, since especially this, it's completely jam-packed full of ammo, which is really good. I wasn't expecting it to be quite so sort of productive on that front. And also being over at Folgora, which is the, well, I mean, Aquilo aside, it's the furthest away, so it has the least solar. It seems to be running okay. So as a ship sort of template, I think this kind of works. What I will need to do, though, is first off launch a starter pack, won't I? Which means, in fact, can't we do that from the map? Yeah, add a platform. There we go. Let's call this the... We'll probably go to Volcanus next. So if we call this the Volcanus Express, as is my usual naming convention. These guys... Yeah, there we go. Bot should bring it in. I don't know if all of these are set to auto. Automatic, yeah. Automatic. Automatic, cool. So the next thing we will do is copy you. Whoops. And in fact, I think we might blueprint it actually. We probably want several expressi. Let's get rid of the hub. And let's use hub as a, so let's put that in orbit. If we do platform starter pack, cool, and then we can pop this into one of our blueprints. Where are we going to put it? We probably want a separate one, really, don't we, for things, space things, things that are in space, space things. But yes, we will look at this Express. And it's not in there, is it? It's in here. Pop this down. Like so. I think that's correct. It must be, because that's the only hole in the platform. So that will order up. Also, I mean, all this what this doesn't have is like cargo pods. So that is an issue, but excuse me. But yeah, we should get all of that ordered up. It won't include any of the requests, you know, like additional requesty type things. It's interesting it's only got those listed. You know, why has it not got the panels and all that sort of stuff? And why has it only got 12 belts? That's interesting. We'll leave it for a minute though. But that's strange, basically. Okay, so Imersite. Do we even have the appropriate technologies for Imersite? Let's have a look. Imersite is the whole tech part of the tech tree. Oh, it's not got a double M. I thought it was a double M. There we go. Whole part of the tech tree. Ah, so we've done the quarry mining extraction. So that lets us get the powder and the crystals and all that sort of stuff. Again, sorry for the yawning. Minerals conversion. So what we need to do is go through these basically. And we've unlocked matter tech cards. I don't think I built them. Oh, I clicked on the wrong thing then, didn't I? Got the energy conversion. These are like super, you know, like capacitors basically, ECUs and all that sort of stuff. And it's this is what I'm kind of really interested in, is because Krastorio 2 always added on like a bigger. It's literally a big assembler. It's gigantic, but there's also like a big, what do you call, smelter, electric furnace, and that sort of thing. And the idea is they're then super productive. They're big so that you can put more things in. Basically, it's like a way of cheating in more inserters and stuff like that, because eventually they can go bonk. You know, the production on them is bonkers. And like there, you see, it can. Well, I don't know if it did that in the. I'm pretty sure it did, but it like you can build gear wheels straight from iron ore. So it's like this super boost you get for productivity, which, you know, to me is like a. You know, how is it therefore balanced? And I suspect it isn't balanced, which is fine. Krastorio 2, it's the base fact Krastorio 2 is not balanced, so not sure I'd expect a mod to be. We got the passive warehouses and stuff, yeah, so we've got them. Matter researches. So we need Imersite crystals anyway, and lithium, so I won't be making them, will I? Okay. So Imersite crystals we'll make from the powder with nitric acid and sulfuric acid. Okay. Now the powder, we get that by crushing Imersite. Okay. Okay. So let's just have a quick. This is the raw stuff, isn't it, that comes out? Yeah, quarry drill. Now these things, they used to have a thing where, and it might be in there, it might not be. The more you were sort of, there was like a maximum production thing on them. In the set, it was like a interesting mechanic in that the more you put down, the less productive all of them became. So if you had one, it was like, you know, 200% productivity on it. As soon as you put a second one on, it like became, each of them was 150% productivity. So the net was better, but you know, the individual one was less productive, and it was actually useful, particularly at this sort of stage of the game, to put more on, because then, you know, you weren't struggling. You know, because you'd have to use like blue belts type of thing. And if you didn't have blue belts, it's better to have more so that you were only using red belts. I don't know if that's in this or not, but we have 2 Imersite patches. We also do not have cliff explosive, do we? Because what I'm wondering is, do I start training some of this? Do we do trains? Because that's quite I mean, it's convenient but not convenient. We could put a station in here maybe, sort of belt it round. I mean, we could do the Imersite processing there type of thing, but I don't know, we're getting into quite sort of complicated territory. Because we could go round there, you see. We could put a T-junction there, and we could go up here. And then would this be the corner? I think that might be the corner there. And then we go... It's going to be a bit jaggly, isn't it? Because that wouldn't be one of them. Probably be that. Because we've got cliff there. Although we have elevated rails now? I think. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure I made elevated rails. Okay, so the other bit we need to this is the whole stations and all that sort of stuff. Does that have... That has the stacker on. If I was to put a station there, would work just about. Okay. So one there. I just think because we want to put the Imersite. No, it's not called. What's it called? Mattertech cards on here, and they need rare metals, plastic, and lithium. I don't think I'm making lithium anywhere. Oh, I might be. Am I making lithium? Am I doing any lithium stuff? Doesn't look like it, does it? No. So let's have a look in Victoriapedia. Lithium. Ammonia. Hydrogen and nitrogen. That's interesting. Yeah, atmospheric condenser. Okay. Interesting, because obviously in space age proper, ammonia is an... You see, this is why I was thinking it was trapped behind a planet, because ammonia is in the expansion on Aquila. But we've got an alternative ammonia recipe. You know, the basic one from Krastorio 2. Okay. Interesting. But we need holmium plate. Oh, and we need lithium brine. Is that Aquilo? Okay. Okay. So we can't do... So it is locked behind a planet. But not in the way you think. Okay, so matter tech cards require matter research data, and they require lithium, which we have to make from lithium chloride. No, that's okay then. What was the blocker there then that I was seeing, or was I just looking at the wrong recipe? Because water and lithium chloride, mineral water is, you know, here on Nauvis, hydrogen chloride. Huh, so what was that other one? What was the one that was the blocker? Unless it isn't, I'm just imagining stuff. Because this, so we've got rare metals, I think. Oops. Am I? Yeah. Have I? Yeah, rare metals there. Okay. So we've got rare metals. Alright. Meta research data. We've got rare metals. Okay, lithium. We would need water and lithium chloride. Lithium chloride is mineral water, and hydrogen chloride, and that's just hydrogen chlorine, which is condenser stuff. And you know, other one, mineral water. Yeah, it's just, yeah, Navis. Okay, so that's not been moved. In fact, I think I've seen that somewhere. So is it an alternative recipe? Oh, it is, I see. So there's two ways of making lithium. But the base one is still there. So presumably the other one is more productive. Okay, so it's not locked, but presumably it gets a lot better once you've done Aquilo. Okay. Imersite crystals then, just, I mean, we're already making sulfuric acid. The powder is just the crushed stuff. The nitric acid is nothing clever. Ammonia, because we can make ammonia using the condenser stuff. Okay, so yeah, it isn't locked or trapped or anything. But what I was saying, or what I was thinking, is whether I want to make it up here, you see. Or not. I can't use that lane, can I? Because that one's supposed to have the space science. Well, it's supposed to have the Fulguran science on it. Is that going to matter? So I could extend this. Not too much difficulty. It's the bringing it down thing that's going to be the problem. Am I using the rare metals anyway? I must be for blue circuits, surely. So that's the rare metals. So they're only going into blue circuits up here. Just because we can have a, you know, a line here basically, or anywhere really. But rare metals are further up. Where am I? I'm processing them here. So if we use this space maybe. How would I get it down? Do I have another rare earth metals? Oops. I do, I've got that one there. Can we get a train over there? Oh, I was going to put that in as a straight again, wasn't I? Because we've got the cliff there, okay. Oops. Tree is in the way. Okay, tree, move out of the way, please. Let's put that there. And then also add on... We're going to be doing more trainy things. We want more trains. Oh, that's easy to get to, isn't it? There's no problem there. Yeah, let's put it there. And then we, oops, then we want... I'm slightly hesitant about the stackers thing because it's just they take up a lot of room. I always put them in the wrong way around. It's a weird blind spot I made I've got. So that would be correct. And then on you to pick up some rare metals. Could even. I think we need to deliver something as well, don't we? We can't just, yeah, we've got to deliver chlorine. Okay. Okay. So we need to drop off chlorine. Which way around do we want to do that? We want 2, which means we need another, well, we will need a fluid wagon. I don't think we're fluiding anywhere. Do we have another? Yes, we do. Ooh, it's all a bit messy. Oh, it's the trees. Is that going to work? I'll put that in there. Yeah. And then Mewtwo. How are you doing? I'm doing well. I hope you're okay. Welcome to the stream. Yeah. I guess it won't let me put that on the ghost. Okay. Oh, hello, Kavach. How are you doing? Hope you're well. And welcome to the stream. Let's let them build that, and then I can fiddle about with this one down here. Because what I'm wondering, basically, is do I kind of bring, like, the chlorine and the what have you here? Not chlorine. Well, yeah, chlorine needs to go there, but I need the... because my labs are right here. So do I just run a belt, essentially, down that way? We'll have to fiddle about with undergrounds and all that sort of malarkey, but do I run a belt here? Ooh, so convenient. And essentially bring the, Imersite. We've got the Imersite there. Bring the rare metals. We'd have to process the rare metals. Which isn't that hard, it's just smelting it. You don't do anything... I think I did here, didn't I? Did I put in... like reprocessed, refried... rare metals, but you don't have to do that, I don't think. Let's have a look. Oh, I've got them all marked. I wonder why I've got them marked. Oh no, it's because I was searching for it. Victoriapedia tells me that rare metal ore, alternative. Yeah, so you can just smelt it into rare metals. Obviously, less efficient, but you don't have to mess about with the other one. So let's go back to the list again of what we need. Because maybe imersite powder, and we would have to get rid of the sand, which is fine. I mean, now I guess I can just stick that in recyclers. Always used to be a problem in this with you to get loads and loads of sand, but now I guess I can stick them in recyclers because recyclers aren't, difficult to make. But yeah, so I didn't look at the thing properly. Well, I finished a leather working project. It's not Factorio, but it had the same sequence of interruptions to build supporting infrastructure. Cool. It's funny, I remember... we're not talking... I mean, the classic thing is like, when you're a teenager, you've not got the money to buy games, but you've got the time to play them, sort of thing. And then when you're an adult, you've got the money to buy them, but not the time to play them. But I've kind of found that with Factorio, it's sort of like I used to just play it solidly, I just I'd work and then I'd play Factorio, and I didn't. I initially, obviously, I did the whole going till 3 AM stuff, but I learned to discipline myself on that. But yeah, and then weekends would just literally just be playing Factorio all the time. And then a lot more recently, I just struggled to find the time. And that's not... I mean, obviously I'm doing a lot of the whole... I'm doing the videos and all of that sort of stuff. But even when I'm not, sort of thing, I just seem to have loads and loads and loads more domestic tasks. Which, as you say, is almost like the supporting infrastructure of life, But it's like I don't... Maybe I just used to stink all the time. Well, I think, I seem to be trapped doing washing and ironing and all this sort of stuff nowadays. But I must have done those before, So, yes. Matter cards, what they would be. It's probably going to be quite a sort of rambly, I mean, they're usually pretty rambly, unfocused kind of a stream, because I've just been so busy with all sorts of stuff. I have finished another video, so that's good. That's what I was doing this week, really. Oh, look, Mattertech card with cooling. Yes, so I need the research data. So the lithium, you see, So that would be the... We haven't really used the whole... Whatever it calls it, mineral water. Plastic would be the other thing. But that's just gas and petrol. Could we put plastic? Would we need to put plastic on about? Because none of these are like massive production things. What's this moaning about over here? What have you not got? You've not got fast inserters, really? That's interesting. Why not? Because that one doesn't have steel, okay. Because that one doesn't have coke. That's lacking wood. Oh, of course. This needs seeds now. Huh. In that case, how about... Instead of that, did I put it? I did put it in a box. So if we do a requester over there. So that was a recipe change that they made these require seeds. Rather than you used to just sort of stick water in them. And trees magically appeared. Okay, so if we do a requester. Which of course lives there. And then... Oh, I can't put a faster incentive on. No, can I? It's going quickly. If we do some steel, and assuming it's in the network, it is. That should work. But what else is that feeding? That steel. It's going down there. So it's things I've probably got millions of, basically. But then it's going. Ah, it's going to artillery. Interesting. So how about we do the same here? Yeah, Factorio is a game that can consume as much time as a hobby and not wasted time. But yes, life accumulates little projects too. It does indeed. Factorio is just so neat and tidy and contained with no waiting or paying for supplies. A very kind hobby. Yeah, it's like the... Farm Sims is one of the, it's a genre, or all those sort of life sims and all that sort of stuff, where I don't know, because the sort of actual building and management and construction and organising and all that sort of stuff is fun, and the bit that they get rid of is the hard manual labour, and so so it's like. They take away the bit that's the most difficult, which is why they're then enjoyable to play. Especially in this, where it gives you bots and stuff. I don't know if you ever tried to build a railroad. I imagine not, but it's not fun. Okay. So these have been built in. Cool. So if we have... So I'm umming and erring really about essentially doing our first kind of offshore science, as it were. Because we could make plastic at a little factory. I could put one in because it's just oil. Do you think I'm already moving around somewhere? We must have an oil thing. An oil train somewhere, surely. Surely. No, am I pumping it all round? Okay. I mean, we've got oil here and we're about to do a thing for that, so maybe we tap that. It's not a lot of oil. No, I don't have oil trains, do I? Crikey. So if we put another... actually, we'll leave that for now. Because we don't want to clog that up, really. But yes, if I put a tin... That's not going to work if it's there, is it? It'd have to be... Oh, that's annoying. Oh, well, I want that oil anyway. So if we put that in there, and then we give it a... No, one thing. Give it a stacker. Try to remember to get that on the right side, which is that one. And then we'll put some stations in. We should have landfill, so we should be okay on that front. How many stations do we want? We just pick it. Well, we need to drop off like 2 things to mine Imersite, I think. Is that right? Big boys, these. No, it just does it on its own. Okay, so we don't have to do anything there. Because what I could do is I could bring coal here. Have I got coal stations? I imagine not. We don't really have a train infrastructure, is the thing. Oh, but we have coal there. Right next to a station we've already put in. Okay. So if we get ourselves another station here. And then also... I should have me drill things, shouldn't I? There we go. I was sure I put in a coal mine, but I guess not. Yeah, I mean, it's like, you know, the survival genre is, you know, hugely popular and all that sort of stuff. And a big part of it is just reduces, you know, the horribleness of, you know, trying to feed yourself and get enough, you know, water and all that sort of stuff. Or like building, you build your shack by just punching some trees, and that's it basically. It sort of takes all of the suffering out of it, all the hardness out of it, really. Okay, so I took that out. If we take that there, this one, excuse me, this one. I've done scale model railroad. It is a lot more effort and cleaning. You can't just put it away. Yeah, my dad used to be more into model railways than I was. I was more scale electrics, and used to build like scale models and that sort of thing as well. But yeah, he was always there. I think because it was of that generation in a sense. That was kind of, you know, along with Meccano, if you've ever heard of that. So, do I need to provide 2 fluids? No, it's the actual... Oh, I've done the belt all the way around again, haven't I? That. Yeah, it's kind of that generation, you know. The Hornby 00 and all that. But Jerry makes a nicer toy train set, honestly. $16 for a single electrically controlled suite. Yeah, it's very expensive. It's model railways. I was kind of, there's like a thing that when men reach a certain age, and I don't know if it's particularly British, I imagine not, they sort of become model railways. I say it's, you know, so my dad's generation, that's kind of what they did. Become model railway enthusiasts, and they disappear into the attic and build a massive, you know, diorama type thing of with trains on it and fully installed, you know, not sort of putting it on table, but it's all got, you know, tunnels, and they've built up the, you know, model cliffs, and, you know, the stations there, and with the little people on it and all that sort of stuff. I'd love it. I'd love to do that, but yeah, I couldn't. Nowhere near it. No way I could afford it. You know? And well, not that I've even got the space, or I live in rented accommodation, so yeah. Cool. That's probably what I'd probably switch to doing that as YouTube, basically. That's what I'd sort of do. I'd like become a model railway builder on YouTube, I think. Okay. So we have the option to pick up coal. And I just put in this here. So what we could do is we can bring the coal here and combine it with the crude oil, turn it into plastic, and have the plastic going away. We've also got the Imersite. I haven't built. What are they called? They're like, it calls them drills, I can't remember. What does it call them? Quarry drills. So we probably want to set up a little, because now we've got, you know, bots and stuff. Kind of don't have to worry too much about extending this bus. Is that too far away? That's too far away, isn't it? Yes, it is. So we just put in a sort of a starter of a bot mauly type thing. We're still on. Oh, that's what weird's happened there. It's not really a bot maul, it's more just like bot-based manufacturing in it. Okay, let's put one in there. Ask it to make some of these. No, they're not on there. There. Quarry drills. But we probably don't need 100. We'll make like 5. It'll have done those recipes based on that as well, but that's fine. So we'll make some core drills and it'll, well, is that in range? Yeah, so it'll build that in. This does need power. As I say, it used to have a thing where it like scaled the number of machines that there were in total. But whether that's carried over into this, I don't know. We should put on a red one though. I don't know whether a loader would be a better way of doing it. But a loader, I think, would only do on one side of the belt. Don't know. But yeah, we'll put on. Oops, that. And then we'll just sort of bring that. Should be the powder. So, how many stations am I going to need here? We need one for the Imersite. At the least. We need one to drop off coal. We need one to pick up plastic. And then there would be a fourth one because eventually we probably want to be delivering oil or something as well. Because that's not going to last very long. So I think if we put the 3 in though. Whoops, that. Oh, there we go. Get them doing that as well as. Yeah, is the stations we want. What order do we want them in? I guess. Oh, that's yellow. Yellow belt, isn't it? It's terribly inconvenient station, isn't it? But yeah, if we put sort of there, picking up. What is that going to pick up? Wait, is it the... No, it's the Imersite itself, isn't it? We need to pick up that one. I could just belt it over, it's not that far, but... Why have a train set if you're not going to play with your trains? We would want to drop off, say... It doesn't really matter which way around it is, does it? But if we do drop off coal, do maybe one train's worth, and then pick up plastic. Chug away on that. Over here. Now, what do you need? Chlorine. So we're gonna have to make some chlorine. Which I cannot remember how the heck we do that. it not show me on there? I guess I can do it in this. I guess it's because I can't make it, can I? Chlorine. Burn chlorine. Water electrolysis. Oh yeah, okay. So it'd be sand and water to make chlorine and hydrogen. Or I pick it up. So, because we would need to deliver we do have stone in the system, but that's quite a long way from any water there. So what? What other stone? Oh, we got another stone. No, that's out of our territory. So it's that. So it's that. As are you. And you. And you. And you. And you. Okay. So, only stone that's ours is this one. Right. This is my... I need to learn this lesson of I always need to put the stackers in. Because that one's presumably trying to go to here, and this one is presumably trying to go to here. Something silly like that. Because this is empty. It's got nowhere to, well, the only pickup is the stone one. And the stone one's got a stone train on it. Because we've got chlorine production, is the thing. Yeah. So I could pick up chlorine from there, couldn't I? And we got this train right here. So how about we add on, instead of messing about with a new one, because we'd just be robbing Peter to pay Paul anyway. Let's do it on the other end. Let's do that one. Oh. Belts aren't going to work, are they? That's annoying. Like, probably not work as well. So... wrong thing. No, wrong thing again. If I do... Where is it? That one. So that's only one. Why have you got nothing on you? I think I've managed to perfectly align my exact number of trains in a way that's causing blockages. And these are all set to 1, I guess. Or the pickups are set to 1 because there's no stackers. So I need to learn that lesson. But I have not. I think that's too long for a red underground, isn't it? Oh no, just about. There we go. Okay, so if this becomes a pickup for chlorine, lovely, lovely chlorine, cures what ails you. And that needs to be a fluid pickup, which is there. There it is. But we can extend that to, where was it? It's over there. Here somewhere. Like so. connecting thing in. Okay, so what we need over here is a drop-off for chlorine. Drop-off. Fluid drop-off. I think we'll just do one load a train, one train load, and then we take that. We need to finagle a bit of the old. Chlorine. Like so. Like so. Like so. And then this. Stations. We want a pickup for rare what? Rare metal ore, isn't it? No, I was going to process it here, wasn't I? Can I just... How complicated is it? I don't think it is. I think it's just literally stick it in a furnace. I say, rich rare metals. Oh, we could do casting eventually. Yeah, so I can just do electric furnaces. Okay, we must have an electric furnace stack somewhere. In the manufacturing book? No. But manufacturing resources? Those look like stone furnaces to me. Okay. Gotta have a... Surely. Uranium. But no, it's not going to be a burner base, is it? I think one of those might work. Oops. So, what is that? That is... Oh, that's got all beacons in it and stuff. Okay. I don't know what the numbers are. What are you? Oh, is that my... I think that's my super... Does 2 belts of... Oh no, that's the steel one. And that's got lots of beacons on it. That's got some. Have I not got... Those are the oils. I think that's the one we would need, but I don't know that we need all of those beacons. Don't know if we can support all of those beacons. So if I sort of put this at like a right angle, well, I could pop it on there, couldn't I? Put that there. So I haven't a clue what the numbers are on this. So rare metals. So that takes in 2 and produces 1. Okay. I think this might be massive overkill, but let's put it in. Everything's gone. I mean, the other reason I think it's massive overkill is the fact that it's got 2 red belts on it. We're not going to be doing 2. In fact, let's just not be silly. Get rid of this whole side of the problem. Take this down to yellow belt. I always upgrade it if it's, you know, super productive. So that would be coming up where? We need a little bit of clearance. We haven't got any chlorine. That's interesting. I sort of assumed a train would leap into action. I guess there's not enough. Output signal 1. So it's got enough for a train. But there is not a fluid train? Question mark. Why aren't you doing anything? Because you're not turned on. Oh yeah, there's this weird bug. Or weird thing in how I've set them up. Why are you not going there? Oh. Why are you not going there? Because that's closed. Why is it closed? Disabled by control. Oh. It hasn't got enough for chlorine. What? 51k output signal. Oh no. 0 of 1. Why are you not moving? Okay. So I can reach it. Train limit 0 of 1. It could be that this isn't demanding it, but why would that not be demanding it? No, that's demanding it. It could well be this isn't, it might not be the set. Because I messed some of these signals up. So it could be the old set of blueprints. Output signal 50k on 1. So why is it... let's see if... Why would building another train do anything? Fuel... So it's got some... Basically... From the circuit network. From the signal network. But there's a red signal for 1 chlorines. And that is not connected, is it? There's a red wire there, but no red wire crossing over. So yeah, it's not the fixed blueprints. That's annoying. Oh! That's not very good, is it? I said there's something wrong, basically, with my fluid wagon template. I don't really understand why, because every time I redo it, I end up with trains that aren't properly coupled. But they're also set on manual. It's sort of, I don't know. Whoops. Bang. Okay. Is it? It's that key press that you always get. Is it H? No. There's like a... No. Attach wagon or something. Like keybind. And I can never remember what it is. This is Alt H? No. No. There's like an attached rolling stock one. I can't remember what it is. Drive around. Yes, it's not connected. I wonder if I can what's that, the controls? Oh. Yeah, it's good rolling stock, isn't it? Attach? No? Basic interaction. Where's trains? Trains. Crafting, inventory, quick bar. Tools, panels, miscellaneous. Connect train, there it is. They've changed it. It used to be connect rolling stock. So, let's find that train. J. Where are you? J. There we go. And it won't be connected either to the one at the back. There we go. So I do not know what the problem is with that. Okay, so you're going to provide the chlorine. It must be connected because it's doing stuff. And that chlorine is going to go to there. That's going to melt, mine the raw stuff, which is going to smelt. And then we need to load it on here. That's what I was trying to do. When you so unreasonably distracted me. So, we're going to be picking up the actual metal, rare metal. I don't know where it is. Rare metals. So we want a splitter. So where's that? It's there, isn't it? That. And then kind of going. Oh, that's too far. Too far up. Needs to be there. Okay, so that'll get us rare metals. We also want to collect this coal. Splitter there. So, and then am I going to 3 to 1 it? I guess might as well. No, let's 3 to 2 it and then split it up. Where's me? There it is. Like so. That. So, making a bit of a meal of this, but it's going to be one of those days, I think. So, double lane in. That's picking up coal. Awesome. Why did we need coal? For plastic. We needed coal for plastic, which should be... Oh, we're missing things. That feels like we're missing landfill. Yeah, we are. Okay. Am I not making landfill? I am. Why are you not doing anything? Oh, because there's a tiny amount of stone coming through. Oh, of course, because the stone train is blocked, isn't it? Can't I make landfill out of, like, sand or something, isn't that? I guess I could also... I bet there's loads of stone, you know, just in boxes. So for the sake of... No? Not in logistic network. Oh. Really? Wow. No stone in the logging network. Well, there you go. Yeah, hopefully the addition of more pickups and drop-offs and stuff will... Why is that not running? What have I messed up connection-wise there? Ah, there's no connecting pipe. Yeah, the more trains will mean it will sort of free itself up. Because ones that are empty have places to go now with stackers. But yes, we need these. Did I decide what they are? Yeah, so that is the coal. But one of these needs to be Imersite and one plastic. So I guess... Here you go, you see. Because it's sort of... You can output direct. And what's the rate? Mining speed 10 a second. But yeah, so it does it, or it used to do a weird thing where it was like say, proportional to the number of mining machines that you had. Where do I want to pick that up? Probably be easiest really to do it over here. That does mean more. Oops. More. Oops. Landfill. What's the world coming to when you can't make landfill then? It doesn't reach. Oh, it does. Oh yeah, they're slightly longer in this, aren't they? I don't need to. Let's just take it to there. Straight down to there. Just like that. Awesome. We have Una Pacha Oiler. Cool. This is going to need powering. They're going to need turning around, aren't they? That's not going to work. I have to do it that way around. And then that's probably best like that. And then we go like that. Cool. That covers all of them. It's not actually connected yet. Let's fix that. The other thing we needed was the water. Whatever it's called, mineral water, is it? This is where I discover none of it is in my territory. None of it is in my territory. Brilliant. Okay. Which is going to be easier to get? Oh yeah, do I have? I do, I've got rail ramps, okay. Despite the initial excitement for rail ramps, I've actually found them quite annoying. They're quite sort of difficult to build with. Because they're so big. It's difficult to sort of fit them in, really. Like here, this is probably not going to work. Yeah, I can't go around that corner. But look at the space there is for it. Let's sort of force one in there. Maybe move the Roboport. And then hopefully that'll be okay if we do that. But we also need to do it here as well, don't we? That should be easier. Come on, get out of the way. Put it there. And no, don't do that. Put it there. So hopefully that's connected. Okay, so we don't have mineral water. What's the simplest solution to that? The simplest solution is to nip over, because this is like a little peninsula, or whatever you call it, like a little spur. We could just stick a whole bunch of turrets in here and just pump the water over. They shouldn't mind about a pipe. And this is kind of where we're dropping everything off. I could put in another one of these, couldn't I? Okay. I'm going to have to go and do something. So being but only 90-degree placement. Yeah. I think that's one of people's slightly weirder, or slightly very much more specific, isn't it? Requests for the ramps to do the 45-degree angles. I can't see them ever actually doing that though, just from an art. I mean, I'll be honest. I don't. They look good, but they also look weird. The like perspective on them is very strange, and it's because of that whole thing of the forced perspective it has. Just seems to get magnified. But yeah, they do look, particularly that angle. That one's obviously not bad because it's, and that one as well because it flattens it. But it's the sideways one that is just like, it's because there is no perspective on it. There should be some degree of perspective, but there isn't, and there can't be because of the type of projection it is. So instead, it's like flat, and therefore your brain goes, there should be perspective on this. Like all the buildings, they're sort of slightly, it doesn't matter for them because they should have, slight inward thing, but they're small enough that your brain goes, that's fine. But yeah, that rail thing, particularly because it's got very straight rail pieces on it. But yeah, it's sort of, and I mean that's not I think they did the best they could, as it were. And it's like the forced perspective causes the problem. And what they're going to do, completely re-engine the game. Okay, where in the heckins is my tank? It's over there. Because we don't have any exits in the wall, so I'm going to have to pull the walls apart. Fine, okay. And where are you? You're down there. Has the stone still not started? I guess we've not got a demand for coal if this isn't doing anything. So I think I'm stuck, aren't I, basically, because... Yeah, so if I just stick in a extra, like a machine here, basically. Have I got a single? Not in this set, okay. Maybe we could do it as a bot manufacturing. And just make some of that, but then feed it in just off of that belt. I think I've ended up as a... This is the demand point for the coal. So it's not going to ever pick anything up because there's no demand. What I do also need to do, I think, is fix this connection, is it? No, that's okay, that one. No, it's okay. Yeah, tank. Varying architecture with the no perspective change across the image, but each element has an internal perspective. And I really wish the rail layout tool let you decrement the number of parallel tracks spacing it was drawing at a time. That could be really neat. Rail layout, decrement the number of parallel line track spacing. Interesting, yeah. Wouldn't be forced to use more regular grid blueprint to avoid having to manually carefully respect the rail placing. So you mean as in like half step rail? Oh, missed a bit of rail there. Like draw 2 or 4 parallel rails at once. Oh, I see what you mean. So as in... Oh yeah, like have the planner do all both lanes or sort of 4 lanes or... that'd be interesting. So we're going to kind of squeeze out here. How about we lob in some poison? Let's see what I'm doing. And then we want to maybe put you guys out. I won't have bots, will I? Nuts. I should maybe put in an actual gate. I just threw it in because I was expecting to be on Fargora for ages. Where would be a good place for this? So, if that's... So yeah, I didn't build them to last, as it were. If we take out sort of all of that... Or build them to be permanent anyway. Build them to last. Don't want the biters eating them. If there's one thing I'm against, it's biters eating my stuff. Why does that... Oh, I can see, because it's only a half. Okay, so I don't need to get rid of that, do I? If there's one hill I want to die on, it's the biters not eating my stuff. I don't think I've got them being produced, have I? Fences, gates. So that's a bizarre way of doing it, but the bots will take them out of my trash, put them in a box, and then come back and the construction bot then will go and fill it in. Because I haven't got any bots on me. Oh, I do. Why did they not kick in? Have I not got any robot? I haven't got any robot. I have got robot. Oh, no, don't kill me. Sorry. I don't even know where I'm going. Down that way. Okay. You're a big boy, are you? Okay. I didn't bring a thingy. Can I make one? Because you need a special pump. Which I can't remember where it lives. It must be in here, surely. Surely. No. Well, you used to need a special pump. Maybe you don't anymore. Let's have a look. Mineral water. Gathered from mineral water. Oh, you're just using mine? Okay, so you got rid of that. Okay, that's cool. Because that was always a bit of a pain in the backside, that you needed a second, different type of pump. Not that I've got any pump jacks, have I? So we can make them. We've got 4, have we? And I can only make 3. So yeah, we need to run power over here. Oops. Then I need to bring in another one of them anyway. Let's pop that on. Boop. And then... Am I going to claim that Imersite as well? Maybe a wall across there? Claim it for freedom? I don't want to look in there. Let's be more sensible with it and actually put a fence on. A gate on. So we want a gate. A gate. And then it's the easiest to do a straight one as well. Where does that connect? It's like there, isn't it? Yeah. Do I need one of them? Don't think so. Because like the corner one, the diagonals are a bit sort of... I end up using them loads. I never really intended to, but it's actually... sort of better aligned in a sense. A pain because you can't do that. You can't go diagonally with what do you call them? Thingied blueprints. Whatever it calls it. Recursive blueprints, you know. You know what I mean. Let's just get rid of that. I need some more walls. Why just do that? And then, do those work without power? Oh, they do. Okay. And then we need to bring power this way. And some here. We're gonna need little radar jobs. I bet they're not on my wish list, are they? In fact, I don't think radar are. Yes, they are. So maybe 25 of them. We're gonna need some pump jacks, I guess. We were able to build all of this stuff. No, we weren't. So I didn't finish it off. Cool, so we were. So how many blue boxes have I got? 11. And each one is requesting 20. So a couple of hundred ammos. So I think I've only got 2. Oh no, I've got 400. Okay, let's put them in then. Where are they? There. Oh, it does the... Huh. Oh, because it's a 2020 rather than that. Oh, interesting. We've got our work Christmas party this week. On Thursday. they've made a complete mess of like organising it, because they've organised it. We have two main offices basically. Company I work at. One where I'm based, down in the south of England. And then the second one, which is where most people are actually based, in more, it's not quite the Midlands, but sort of more central to the country. And so they've sensibly placed it. We probably want to go across that bit, don't we? We're going to have to do a little sneaky sort of dog leg around these guys. It'll be interesting. Let's go and get the bits that we need. Yeah, they've got a venue, sensibly, between the two offices. But the two offices are a long way apart, so that being in between means that it's not actually convenient for basic. There are, you know, a handful of people who live where it is. It's not it's in Oxford basically, where this Christmas party, and obviously there are, say, a handful of people who do work in Oxford and commute, you know, and close by, but fundamentally it's inconvenient for everybody. Okay, and the venue they've booked is really only reachable by car, and it's on a motorway or highway, as yon Americans might say. Which means that basically to get there, you need to drive. And so we're all sat there wondering how that was going to work, because it's a Christmas party. People are expecting to have a few alcoholic beverages, and also for it to go on fairly late, particularly how they've done it. I mean, it could have been a Christmas lunch, that's what I'd have preferred, but it's a party in the evening, so it doesn't, you know, it's sort of scheduled to finish at 11 o'clock. You know, I think kicking out is sort of 11 o'clock, which is like normal sort of pub closing time. So if they're expecting people to go to Oxford, which for me is an hour and a half journey, probably two, because it's after work, so it'll be rush hour. Was their plan honestly that people would then drive home again? Because they issued this instruction, this guidance, that because it isn't a work activity, you know, it's not part of our jobs in a sense, we couldn't claim for hotels or petrol or taxis or public transport or anything. You know, there was no, you couldn't get expenses. So they're basically saying, right, we're going to hold this Christmas party. It's going to take everyone an hour to drive there, at least. The only way you can get there really is to drive or take a taxi, which would cost an absolute fortune. The hotel it's at, because it's a big hotel, you know, complex thing, is £200 a night. So if you wanted to get the hotel that is the place you're at, it's going to cost you an absolute fortune. And this is meant to be an attractive, you know, proposition. So basically, there's like, and it's for the department, and the department's about, I think it's about 350 permanent employees. And the number of people that had accepted the invite was going because everybody's like, well, why would I go? And it's on a Thursday. It's not like it's on a Friday. So there's work the next day. And it's like, well, why would I schlep all the way up to Oxford to have a bit of turkey, you know, Christmas dinner? And I can't drink because I got to drive. And also, you know, if it finishes at 11, I'm either going to leave really early, or, you know, I'm going to be getting back at midnight. And clearly, a lot of the managers made this point, that a lot of their staff had said yes initially, because, you know, it's the Christmas do, everyone goes. And then as the details had emerged, they'd all sort of, you know, and I had, they'd sort of started saying, no, I'm not doing that. I was, you know, you're missing out on the Christmas do, but I'm not paying £200 taxi or £200 hotel or get back at, you know, midnight just to do a Christmas party dinner thing. But yeah, they've relented, and you can now claim a hotel, or you can, if you share a taxi, you can claim a shared taxi. But yeah, it got to a point where it's feeling like it had almost been set up in a sense as like you know, the people organising it wanted to have their own party and basically, you know, extended an invite to everybody else begrudgingly and sort of, you know, in such a way that no one was going to accept, you know. So I think if we go to this part over here, ooh, and then run the power cable from here, because what we always, I mean, this is part of, we've moved into this department, and what we used to do at our sort of section is we would always tie the Christmas do up to like a, because you do a lot of like team days and all this sort of stuff. It's one of those types of companies, and so we always used to tie ours up. You know, it'd be in the evening of a company, sorry, a departmental, you know, get together basically. So we were doing that anyway, and so that everyone could claim expenses, travel expenses, because of that. And then the fact that you also then, you know, turned up to the Christmas do because you were there was almost incidental, you know. Right, so what we need to do is have a little chesticle here, I think. Maybe a couple. And then we put a bit of repair packs, a bit of the old ammo. And then we need... I didn't bring any construction bots, did I? Nuts. We'll just put them in for starters then. And this has emptied everything out, so I do need more there anyway. Let's put that in. Same here. Well, I can't. Oh, it's in there. Put that in there. Boop. Oh. All done. So that's got 20. That's not got 20 because it emptied it out. Oh. Right, so let's pop this one in, and then we'll run a pipe going the other way. Boop. Oops. There. And then... oh, nothing. Shuttle bus or taxi would have been... that was what... I mean, usually they do these company events, you know, we have... and I still find this staggering. We have a company conference. It's just... it's bonkers to me. I mean... it just feels like a massive way. So I work in the electricity industry, basically. And so everything we do is paid for by consumers. So people who... so your electricity bills in the UK pay for this stuff. And at a time when... because... oh, I'm kind of going into the detail of it, but basically... electricity prices and gas prices in the UK... well, the two are linked, because obviously we still generate a lot of our electricity from gas. And of course things like the war in Ukraine and our friend Vlad deciding he wants Cold War Part 2. Means that the price of gas kind of skyrocketed. So you've got everyone's bills are, you know, really high. Oh, I'll get close there. And then you get still, you know, they still do this conference sort of thing. It's paid for, you know, the consumer pays for this. And yeah, it sort of ends up feeling, especially, it's difficult to really, because I hate that sort of stuff, like on like loads of levels. I don't like big groups. I'm not, you know, I'm not comfortable in that sort of situation. So there's that for me personally. It's like a not a fun thing to attend anyway, you know, whether you'd say it's good value or what have you. But then the most recent one could literally have been an email. It was of that scale of non-event, you know. Because I think they had tried and I think they had sort of tried to be sensitive to it and sort of scale it back, basically. But in scaling it back, it meant the whole thing was basically useless. What was I saying? But yeah, so when they do that sort of thing, they'll lay on coaches. You know, and you have to make your own way to the office, you know. But if you can get to the office, then there's like a free coach, basically. And it's like, well, why didn't they do that? That's from both offices, you know. That's not a my office exclusive thing. That's both of the company offices. You'll just get you'll be able to get a coach, you know. So luckily we managed to get to here with the distance. Can I do a pump? Have I got a pump? I've got a pump. So we'll pop a pump in. Pop a pump. Pop a pump. Right. Yeah, that's covered by our robot there, so we're okay. So we've got the mineral waters. We have. I mean, these warming icons seem to have gone away. So I'm guessing this all get built. It did. It did indeed. So we can go and get some plastic. Did this cause drains to start doing drainy things again? Not but well, maybe. No, kinda, maybe-ish. I mean, we're not using this coal. So, okay. What we need here then is a drop-off for Imersite. There. Which we will add to this Imersite. If I'm just going to run like a belt, if we make the matter cards here, let's head back into that. Why has that got no fluid in it? It does have fluid in it. No, it doesn't. Ah. Mess up with the pipe. Okay. Does sound like an engineered choice. Yeah, makes sense. I say it was it did sort of come across as like, I think the problem really, so the big boss, as it were, of the department had gone on a work trip to India. It's all a bit complicated, but it wasn't, you know, it wasn't a holiday or something. And I think basically you get a lot of this in. I don't know if it's. So my career has been spent at tiny companies, like as in, you could literally, the entire company is in a single room, and it's a, you know, a small office. It's not a big company. And so I'm used to, and it's kind of why I always always join companies like that. What are we doing here? What are you moaning about? Oh no, it's too long. Yeah. That makes sense. I mean, that is quite a distance, isn't it? Okay. So I need to pop over here, maybe. This might be a good candidate for replacing. Oh. Yeah, I always worked in tiny companies. What tiny companies basically mean is you have to be comfortable making decisions yourself and just getting on with things. I mean, well, you don't. I mean, you can just be a doing what you're told type person, but you're not going to get on at a small company if you just, if you just, doing the job because you got to, sort of thing, doesn't really work at a small company. You kind of, I say, gotta be. I'm meaning in the roles that the type of roles that are actually delivering things, not it doesn't apply to all, but the sort of stuff I'm doing. Why is that not dropping on? Oh, because of course that's the other way around. You got to make decisions. Basically, you got to get on with it. Make decisions. And okay, so that's all loading up. It was the thing I was afraid of, basically, when I took this job. Almost the first thing I asked, if not the first thing I asked, was how is it in terms of all of that sort of stuff, bureaucracy and, as I say, people being empowered and doing the job, because the job needs to be done rather than simply they're there to fill a seat. And I don't know about lied to, but given the impression that it was actually quite good for a fairly large organisation. People were proactive and did things and what have you. Complete cobblers. 90% of the people there won't make a decision unless they're kind of told to. They've got to check it with the boss all the time, and aren't willing to take responsibility. And culturally, that there are reasons for that there. But it felt a lot like this big boss had said, right, I want to do a single event, everyone together, big celebration, We'll make sure it's central for everybody so that everybody can come. And then they went away and found a venue, and that was all great and wonderful. But what needed to happen was somebody needed to make the decision that how people were going to get there. And nobody did, basically. And so you had one person issuing this email when people got to the point of like, well, what's going on? Like, can we get can we claim on expenses? Can we get a hotel room? And they just went with the default company line of, no, you can't. Because technically, you shouldn't be able to because it's not work. That's what the rule book says, so that's what they said. Whereas it really needed the big boss to come in and say, well, I've dragged everyone up to Oxford. Or down to Oxford. We better cover their expenses in some way. And what literally happened is the boss came back. And when they eventually got to that point in all their decision making that hadn't happened because they'd not been there, and as I say, no one is willing to make a decision without them. That was when it became, okay, yes, you can do these things to cover the cost. So I think we've got we've got the mineral water kind of coming in. I've not connected it up. So that's one of the bits. We got the Imersite. We would also need to drop off. Another one we need here is the... what's it called? Rare earths. So we need to drop off... that's the wrong thing. That's not stations. There we go. We need to drop off. Whatever it's called. Why does it feel like I've already told it to drop this off somewhere? I'll have to check that, because I have a feeling I know I'm picking it up. I just cannot see it, because it's such a sort of non-icon. Rare metals. Oh, I don't want 3 loads. Which is the one saying... here it is. We want 1. Okay. Blair. So, let's go over the ingredient list again. How are we doing? I don't think I've got the lithium. I think that's what I'm missing. But that's what... I think I can make rare water on it. Possibly some other chemicals? I'm not sure. So, where's Matter? There it is. Matter Tech card. So the processing units and blank tech cards will just sort of steal in some way from the bus. This is sort of the other problem. They're like all the way at the top here, blue circuits. But I can always bot them over. It's not huge volumes. So there's that. Where are you? Matter Tech card. But the matter research data, we got the Imersite crystals. So we don't need to crash them. I mean, we do if we need to make something else, don't we? Like all of these bits and pieces. I'm pretty sure use the crushed stuff. But what am I actually going to want from them? I know there's the AI. The AI cores are important, but they're crystals without crushing it. Oh, no, wait. What? Imersite crystal... wait a minute. So what have we got here? Is this not the crystal then? Oh no, okay, that's Imersite. Ah, okay. That's a different thing then. I had not understood that. So we have to turn Imersite into Imersite crystals, okay. So we need to replace this then, don't we? Because I used the thingy signal. So it's not the Imersite crystals, which are, well, it's Imersite. Ah. And then this, in fact, I think I probably got that one right, but this one will be, no, that. Does that cause you to kick in? Yeah, there we go. So we've got to make Imersite crystals, which means the crushing and then... okay, so we've got to get these 2 fluids over here. Do we put them on a train? We're not making the nitric. Oh, that's what we need the rare... sorry, mineral water for. As well as rare metals, so it doubles that up. Okay. Because the matter research data. So that does need the rare metal. So we need plastic here and rare metals. And we then need to think about making the other one. So, what did I set this as something? Yeah, so that's the rare metals. Okay. So then that one and that one are both going to be needed, aren't they? Because we're going to need... That's not the stations. We're going to need... Drop off. Oops. Plastic. Plastic. And it's just not sticking in my head, this. I wonder if I can just get it to build me a research thing and I can refer to that. So we just pop one of these down. We need to do the numbers anyway. As an aside, what's your personal rating of how this mod set plays? Krastorio 2 as Krastorio 2. I mean, I haven't obviously played it since Rhaegar kind of updated it to just version 2, as it were. I can only go on when I played it through as in version 1.1, you know, the sort of OG version. So I don't know if there's been any balancing changes that makes it wonky or anything, but I really enjoyed it. Of the overhaul mods that I've played, I think it's probably my favourite. As just the, you know, the version 2, sorry, version 1.1, Krastorio 2, as is type of thing. I really highly rate it. It has, I do think it gets a bit, there is like a version of Krastorio 2 that is like extended endgame, which, because the goal in this is to build a, like a transceiver that you broadcast, you know, a help me rescue signal. You know, an SOS basically. And it gets a bit, I tried to do the extended version and that got a bit annoying because the numbers are just bonkers. I mean, it does say in the description, this is bonkers for the sake of being bonkers. And so I uninstalled it and just went with the normal one. Because what you have to do, interestingly, to do that transceiver is store up power, which is why it gives you these super capacitor things. Which I say, whether they're more effective, I don't know in this, because we've obviously got quality and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, so effectively you have to store up power, and it gives you like 3 different versions of nuclear fission and 1 fusion, I think, something like that. And it becomes about building power more than it does your base. Or it did for me anyway, which was a really interesting sort of switch around. And I like the additional step of the crushing. I think this is quite a nicely implemented thing. Our base appears to have stopped. Because it's not got any sulfuric acid. Why has it not got any sulfuric acid? So yeah, as this mod, you know, for version 2, I don't know because I haven't played that version, but the version 1.1 I really, really highly rated. I think it's probably my favourite of the overhauls I did, and I did like Bobs and Angels and all of those basically. This one, I don't think I've really done enough of the space stuff really to kind of comment. Ah, we have no iron here. Because there's no iron there. Oh, because that patch has completely gone. Okay. Right. You should have said. Unexpected. Okay. How would we get iron just onto that nice and Nice and easy. Because we would need the raw iron rather than the enriched iron. Or we could just have iron plate going in there, couldn't we? Because we just sort of need to add it onto that side of the belt. So yeah, I would highly recommend Krastorio 2 with the caveat, as I say, I've not actually technically played the version 2 one, and this mod I say I don't feel I've done it. I'm literally just getting into the new stuff, and I'm not feeling like it's balanced in a sense. It's giving the impression that it's just been made to work with it rather than set up so that it will. I suspect we're going to be in a situation where we don't have any iron and therefore can't make any iron because we need acid, because we've got literally whatever's sort of in that belt. So maybe if I go a bit further up. So if I sort of split maybe here. So yes, I would highly recommend it as an overhaul mod. That's going to be bad, isn't it? Because that robot port's in the way. But okay. So oops, let's take it up to there, say. Across there. This is where it turns out there's not enough iron plate to make all the belts. So we're literally using whatever's on this belt to like kickstart sulfuric acid production. Is that in range, that one? That might be the killer belt. Maybe that's not coming. Looks like it should be. Like it's been assigned. We could maybe like scavenge that belt just in case. Oh no, there we go. So if they've built all of that, that should dump our iron plate on there. This might be tricky. These might grab all of the iron before we want them to. Yeah, because that one's nowhere near full, is it? Because that's not a lot of iron. Okay, other solution then. We can request in from all of our other things. You know, our chests have got stuff in, so we can pull from there as well. Okay. What was I going to do? Because we want that sulfuric acid as well. Where do we collect it from? Because we need nitric acid as well, don't we? So does that... I didn't put a stacker on there, did I? So if we put, say, a stacker here instead, but no, it's not in that book. It's that book. T-junction. And one of them. That won't quite work because there's obviously the wrong signalling, but I can fix that at some point later. it becomes an issue. We put 4 more stations in because we need to drop off sulfuric acid and nitric acid at the very least. Okay. But we need other stuff for the other processing as well. But yeah, it's very, very, I mean, it's very similar to vanilla with like tweaks basically that give it slightly more content complexity. It does have like, I mean, it has some of the things in it are like awesome, like these super long pipes are just amazing. A lot of people also love the loaders. Loaders are obviously something that are actually in the base game, but that will be, you know, decided was a bit too powerful. But it enables them and lets you use them. I don't really use them because I don't design in a way that actually suits them. They do require power as a kind of balancing thing, but okay. So what you also want then is the Matter Tech cards. If I put that on, which is that one. So we need to make this crystal. It's the lithium, isn't it? That's the pain. Because we need to make lithium chloride. We need water, which I think we're close enough. That's fine. But we need lithium chloride, which is the mineral water, and hydrogen chloride, which is chlorine and hydrogen. But we can get both. Well, I guess the chlorine we need to drop off, don't we? Where are we going to build this? Let's start working things backwards. Because we don't need production to be mega scale in any way, shape or form. Let's find a nice thing. Oops. I don't know if people saw, I don't know. Loaders on 1 times cost for vanilla are a bit silly, yeah. I don't know if anyone saw that, I've forgotten what it's called. Let me see if I can just look it up. I didn't actually, I wanted to watch the PC Gamer. I think they call it the Most Wanted. I think that's what they call it. It's basically like, it's like a more honest version of the Game Awards, because the Game Awards are just a bunch of trailers and adverts. With some awards tacked on to give you an excuse to... It's not... I mean, whatever you think about Jeff Kidd, he's not really properly... It's sort of meant to be like the... Because the Oscars are like... what would you call it? Like art washing of cinema, basically. Because the things that win Oscars... I mean, they make money because they've won an Oscar type of thing. But they're artistic films, generally speaking. It's not quite true nowadays. They're sort of more... You know, it's more of the mainstream stuff, but you know, it's your Avengers Endgame and you know Titanic and stuff. And obviously Cameron did win awards for those. And, you know, it's getting more that way. But it always used to be more like, you know, we are art. You know, it's sort of a thing, sort of saying it's the opportunity for that industry to say, look, we are art. You know, we are really art. When really most of the films, like most films that actually make money in the sense of, you know, being profitable and pretty much guaranteed to make profit are horror films. And yet, you know, the Oscars is like, well, it's not really art, is it? You know, like they had to pretend that Sinners wasn't, you know, a horror film, basically, to, you know, get people to like it. So, you know, that's like what I always interpreted the Game Awards as an attempt to be for the game industry. But he's not really. Instead, he's just made it exactly what, you know, we are, which is just this money generating machine, you know. Anyway, that aside, so the PC Game Awards are like the, you know, a bit more of an honest, just, you know, things we're looking forward to in the next 6 months. And say, what was it called? I'm trying to look at my history at the same time because I watched the trailer. I'm hoping to watch the thing tonight, but I've got to catch up on some other stuff. So what was it called? Basically, the guy who, or I don't know if it is a guy, I assume so, who did the Ultra Cube mod, is working on a Factorio-like It wouldn't be as short, would it? Where is it? I watched it yesterday, surely. Oh, I watched it via... yeah, I didn't watch it on my actual feed, did I? If I go Factorio, Ultra Cube, Dev, New Game... Is that gonna... Substructure. So there's a game called Substructure, which I would recommend you check out the trailer for, because it is very Factorio. I mean, it is intentionally, you know. So it's by Dubious Designs. I'm pretty sure it was on the PC. I mean, I say I didn't watch the flipping thing because I just didn't have time. But yeah, the Ultra Cube dev has joined. Well, I say that. I think there is only 2 of them. But it's got like it's very Factorio, and like the premise of it is that a planet has appeared on the edge of our solar system, and then for reasons that it doesn't seem to explain, you go and start exploiting this planet, and it has layers to it. So obviously, you know how the planets are done as, you know, they're a surface, as I think it calls it in the game, but it's a layer, and effectively you go down in the layers, and people saying, you know, in the you know, the journalists and that it's a bit sort of horror-y style of thing, you know, because there's things down in the different layers, as it were. It didn't show you any of that particularly, but it does have a creepy music and that sort of thing. To me, it reminded me of Don't Starve, like when you go in the different, when you go down and down in the caves in Don't Starve, and you find the ancient machines, and there's like horrors down there, and it drives you mad and all that sort of stuff. It felt a bit like that. Yeah, I would check out the trailer for that. That's, say, Substructure. I'm going to be interested. I don't think it's coming for several years, I wouldn't have thought, but you never know. But yeah, I say, watch straight. It looks very Factorio. It's, you know, belts and machines and inserters, and I don't think I remember there being trains in it. There might well have been, but I'm sure those will come. But yeah, it showed him, like, the character standing on a platform and going down a level, and then going down a level again, and it gets all dark and, you know, weird and potentially horror-y. How the heck did I get onto that? But yes, so that's oh no, it was because it's a mod. You know, it's by the Ultra Cube mod person. Okay, so we've got a Roboport, so I can now request up, because I don't have it in my list, some server thingy, whatchamacallit, whatever it calls, research servers. Don't need 50, 10 of them. But yes, if we say, well, what rate am I doing the others? There's only like 2 of them or something, isn't there? 4. And then, but that's for the space, isn't it? So utility, I've got 0.29 and 0.29, and I've got 1 module in each. Okay. Oh, it doesn't exist, so I can't put the modules in. To 5, but we need that one. That one. 29. Okay, so that's the same rate. I'm pretty sure all of the sciences are like the same rate in this. It's one of the interesting little tweaks, basically. But yeah, if I'm only making them at 0.29, I'm sure it'll be fine with these as well. And we need power. Okay, so we would need 0.28 of the... What else does it need? So it needs 3 ingredients. So I'm wondering about just, you know, potting in. I mean, the research cards would be relatively easy to send up, I think. It looks like iron kicked in again, has it? Or sulfuric acid? Oh, kinda, but not really. Is that because this is all thieving on that iron plate? Yeah, there's only a little bit getting up here, but... Fingers crossed it'll be okay. It says, seeing the line completely dry up. Is it a lack of acid again? Oh yeah, it's very low, isn't it? I mean, worst case, I can just stick in some old school mining just to keep it from falling over. Maybe send it straight to the acid. In fact, why don't we do that? Maybe if I just put in one of them, and then we request in get that to do regular iron plate. And then we can make sure that something somewhere is grabbing some iron ore. Don't want a logic network, don't we? 52. Oh, minus 26 of it. Interesting. Hello, Pete Smith. How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well. So bringing it is bringing it. Cool. So that should hopefully mean that we're not going to run out of sulfuric acid. But yes, how are we doing? So if we request in, say, do I want to bring the... Where are they being made, the actual cards? There. Only on one side, interestingly. Okay. Fine. It's not struggling, is it? Yeah, let's put them in a box. A cardboard box. Says not known without. So we'll get them in. So blank tick cards, there we go. Because it's going to be pretty slow production. Them less than, let's just do 100. Yep. And then, oh, our blue circuit's going into a box anywhere. Yes, cool. So if we request in tech cards and blue circuits, then that's 2 of the ingredients done. We need the matter ones. So I guess we need a counterflow. That. And then let's offset that slightly. Boop. And then this is where it turns out they're made in some weird machine. Some of them. Oh, but it's got 4 ingredients. Okay. 4 ingredients, crikey. But none at any kind of horrible rate. Yeah, 0.18. So I can double side 2 belts, I think. So, how many are you making? 0.18, and you need 0.28. So we need... Oh, in fact, let's fill them out with modules if we can. What does this do? Oh, it doesn't change. Oh, it wouldn't because it's the production that changes. 0.22 and 0.22 for 0.29. So if we had a third one. And that's more than enough. Is that 0.58 total? 0.22. So yeah, that's plenty. Let's get ourselves some inserters. So, we now know we need 0.21 plastics. I didn't put any of this in, did I? The plastic or anything. Okay. Okay. I must have blooming... No, I don't think I do. I don't think I have a chemical plant blueprint, actually. You know, like plastic. Or that we can actually use, anyway. Yeah, I might have one somewhere. Pot manufacturing. There you go, there's plastic piece. It's blue belts and stuff. Well, let's just use it anyway, and then I'll downscale it. Okay. So we want... what do we want? We want the fluid coming in. Let's put it there. Maybe. Oh, I need to convert it into petroleum, don't I? So we don't want that one there, anyway. Let us can't see wood for trees. Currently playing Hitman. Oh, crikey. Which some people actually compared to Factorio. Puzzle after puzzle and a good gameplay loop. Yeah, I can see the comparison. Yeah, it's sort of... I think I would go with Hitman being more well, I never really liked the term because to me it didn't make sense, but immersive sim, you know, so that whole improvising, you know, solutions to things. To me, Hitman is like the perfect version of that type of game, basically. So 9, so that'd be 20. They're going to make 50, so 56, 56, 56, 56. So call it 50, 100, 150, 250. So 20, 40. Well, it's not got them beacons in, has it? Modules in. 20, 40, 60. What was that? 100, 250, 20, 40, 60. I just got it 20, 40, 60, 80. If we do another one, that's 100, so that would last for a while. But it's only then producing 9, 18. Let's call it 10, 10, 20, 35, 50. Oops. Oh dear. Loose mouseness. Yeah, that's a good... I was never very good at immersive sims. Because I think my problem is always... I know it's strange, because, as you say, I can see the comparison to something like this, with its solve the problem in your way type of thing. But it's more... What is it more? I'm not quite sure how to express it, but it was always more sort of... So in a normal puzzle game, and that's why I would say it was more like a immersive sim or something. And I suppose there is that, it is still systemic. But I think because I've only really played, I know there are a lot of Hitmans before, but like the newer ones, the actual, you know, what do they call it? Was it World of Assassination? That whole series. And they did the thing where they gave you opportunities, and so it became a bit more like the puzzle was unlocking those opportunities and working out how to do them. So, you know, they'd have a thing where the guy was going to go and eat, you know, oysters or something, and so you had the opportunity to poison the oysters, or, you know, slip a emetic, I think they called it, into the oysters, and then strangle them in the bathroom. So there's still very much your solution type thing. But I say it was more about kind of working those out rather than purely, you know, like I've laid this out like this. I don't think I've ever laid it out like this before. But it'll work, you know, even if it's not the most efficient and not the best, I think. You know, partly because I'm distracted doing this. But, you know, talking about, but say it felt a bit more, I suppose, linear in a sense, and that, but it's not linear, you know. It's a bit like, I mean, I love puzzle games, and so, you know, I do enjoy the Hitmans, but I was never very good at them. I'm not very good at puzzle games, even though I love them. And it is that kind of thing of, there is a solution, and you've got to find the solution rather than necessarily work out your own sort of thing. But Hitman is more in that territory, which is why that sort of immersive sim description works, which I say I hate that. It's basically, I mean, I get it, but I don't really agree. I don't really know what's meant to be immersive about an immersive sim. So we'll be getting 11, so we're getting 22, so we're getting like 50-ish total, so I don't need this many. It'd be 20, 40, 60, probably just be 3 of them really, wouldn't there? Maybe a 4th one. We would then need 1.5, 3. So yeah, it's nowhere near a coal, is it? And how many is it outputting? It's outputting 3.17. Okay, so it's outputting way more. Yeah, great. They're great games. That sounded like I was criticising them. I really wasn't intending it to be that. So I assume it is the new Hitman's, the World of Assassination. So that needs to be the output. But yeah, as I say, great games. I was quite like them as well because they're quite silly, aren't they? As well, games and sort of. Well, they've got that. It's one of the things I've noticed about that because they're Swedish or Norwegian or something like that. Because it's like they seem to have that sort of humour of I don't know what you call it. Like it's like undermining it, or the being silly on top of, it's perfectly serious, and then something silly happens, sort of thing. If you see what I mean. So that's the output, so that can be just there. Yes, up to there. Like so. And then we're going to hook up this coal. So we go... I have to cross streams, aren't I? Because I've done that in a silly way. Okay. That. Yes, the quality is amazing, as everything that service games promise, but without all the season pass. But yes, buy the game and have almost unlimited. Yeah, because they did a lot of. What did they call them? I can't remember what they called them. They were like the limited time contracts. There are absolutely loads of those. In fact, I think they're still out them, aren't they? Because isn't there this one with M&M or something? And I don't think they've ever charged for any of them. Sim says, I have now 200 hours in World of Assassination. Crikey, Danish coming out, that's it. But yeah, what I'm looking forward to, I don't know if what things you explain, but they're doing a Bond game, aren't they? That's them. I think that'll be that's such a perfect fit because it is that sort of, and that's sort of what he does, isn't it? I mean, he's talk about him being secret agent and all that sort of thing. He's not really. He is an assassin basically. But in the films, he's, or some of the films, I guess. Having the gadgets is like a very Hitman-y thing already. But then also he sort of improvises the solution, he's sort of like, and I say that whole, how, getting the clue as it were and working out, oh well that guy's therefore going to be there, so I can blow up the toilet or whatever daft thing you decide to do. So I think that's going to be a perfect fit. They did show the gameplay. It looked a bit wobbly performance-wise, but I'm sure they can optimise that. But one of these showcases, and it did look really good. Cool, so that's the plastic flowing. Where are we going to drop it off? Oh, we're already dropping it off there. Okay, cool. But yeah, I'm not really looking forward to that. I think that's coming next year, isn't it? So, I managed to perfectly align that with a with a cliff. Marvellous. Where's it coming from? It's coming all the way down this way. So if we go maybe... There's a degree to which all of this infrastructure is kind of pointless because I'm moving it so far around that I could have just belted the plastic over. Oh well. And we need to get to sort of one of these. I should give them another go. So I think one of my problems as well, because it's like, I don't know, it's strange. In this game, I'm more than happy to make mistakes and just do stupid things and do it badly. But I say I always found that, I think it's because it feels like an RPG to a degree. I say that was always my big problem. Nothing to do with the game itself. Was that, I'd see this opportunity and then I'd mess it up in some way. Get caught by a guard or what have you. I'd be like, no, got to reload, got to restart, got to reload, rather than, oh well, I'll try some other way of doing it, you know, which is, I think, what I should really be doing. Okay, so, in theory, some plastic is happening. Not a lot of plastic, but some. Although, yeah, I put one too many on, didn't I? So that's fine. Cool. So some plastic. Is it? It should be more than enough. I think we only need like 0.28 or something. So they're making, in theory, well, let's call it 3, 6, 9. Let's call it 10. And I don't even need one. So that's more than enough. The heavy metal, or whatever it's called, raw metal, fancy metal, I should have put on the same belt, shouldn't I? In fact, let's do it that way then. So if we go, because it's this one, it's right here. But then I also need this for something else, don't I think? So if we go maybe connect them here, and if I sort of join this together, no, that's the wrong thing. There. It's going to be really rather janky, isn't it? So yeah, if we just do a little split off of there. We just did the Eminem one today. Doing the next James Bond game will release next year. Dylan 7 will be a new version of the Hitman engine. Dylan says Bond can't shoot up the whole level and kill everyone accidentally. I'm sure that'll be the first mod someone does though. The James Bond video games. Oh, and I get that, and I guess that's the more modern ones, but I don't know. A lot of the James Bond films I remember watching, it at some point he does basically go on a massacre. It's a massacre of henchmen, so it's supposedly all right. But yeah, the number of people he's killed in those films is kind of insane. James Bond video might be bigger than the movie soon. The quality of the last Bond film I saw. I don't think I saw the one that. Oh, what's her face did? She was the writer on. Fleabag, you know. I can't remember what that was. I remember watching the Spectre. Was it Spectre? I don't know. They sort of. I think they should have finished with Skyfall, really. I think that was really, really good. And then, I don't know, Spectre and. It had a lot of really good stunts in it. But, was it Skyfall that was good? I can't remember. It's ages since I've really watched any of the Bonds. How are we doing on this plastic? It felt a bit like they were trying to go back to like more like a Roger Moore type of thing, rather than, you know, they'd sort of, the Daniel Craig ones had started on a, you know, our version of Bourne, as it were. You know, that sort of more, I don't know about gritty, but more realistic, a bit more grounded than silly. And it just sort of slowly seemed to edge towards the Roger Moore ones, which were always just pure silly, you know. Which is fine, you know, it can be what it needs to be, as it were. But if you start off as one thing, then, you know, transitioning to another is not quite what it is. But say I never saw the most recent one. Okay, so I think I'm happy with that. It is 6:30, so I don't think we're going to finish this. But yeah, we would get plastic coming in. So the two we need to make are the lithiums and the Imersite crystals. Now the Imersite crystals, I won't have crushers, will I? Because we need to crush these. I think that's right. So we do... Because what we're getting in, actually, is the raw Imersite. And I crush that into Imersite powder and sand. So the sand we need to get rid of. Do. We can turn it into landfill. Okay, that's alright then. And then the Imersite powder we turn into the crystals, which is where we need both the sulfuric acid and the nitric acid. Okay, has our sulfuric acid recovered? We chock full of lovely, lovely acids. We are absolutely full there. Now, ideal thing would be adding... I guess I could add it on here, maybe. So if we add on... No, it needs to be the stations. I keep forgetting they're in there. We would pick up sulfuric acid. Can't see it. There it is. But we need to do the tweak with this, don't we? That... No, it's the drop off that's broken, isn't it? I don't have one. Okay. But yes, so we need to drop off. Oops, tree is in the way. Sulfuric acid on one, and then we need to well, that one didn't need a red wire, so it must be the pickup that's... No, that's connected. What was wrong with that other one then? Maybe these are the fixed blueprints and I just messed something up. Because that signal... I thought it was the... Oh! Because that's coming through there. Yeah, saying please send me sulfuric acid. So then why... Is it this one? No, that's connected. So sulfuric acid... I need to hook it up, obviously, but... Greater than one. I don't know. I don't know what the error was on that other one then. Okay. Where's the pipe? There's the pipe there. Let us... Oops. Connect up. I'll sneak that through there, I can. In fact, I might put a pump on this because it feels like that's been quite a distance. Let's see what it does. Does it moan? Let's see. Oh, hello, Baker Mission. How are you doing? Welcome, welcome. So your wiggly line was wiggling up. I think it wiggled back down again today. Yeah, so I don't. I mean, it's difficult to do those without it coming across as some sort of, you know, like beg for people to subscribe or something like that. Which I guess that's fine, as it's what everyone does on YouTube. But um, it does sometimes. That isn't necessarily the point I'm trying to make, as it were. It's more the sort of, I want to do the thank you everyone for subscribing. It's really appreciated post, and so you take a screenshot of 9:50, and then literally as you're typing out the post, someone unsubscribes, and it's like, well, it's not 9:50 then, is it? Has it done any loads of? No, it's still not done any plastics. Okay. So we've got sulfuric acid, and we need nitric acid. We are not making nitric acid anywhere at all. I do not believe. So how do we do that? We do that by giving it the mineral water, which we just brought up, rare metals, and ammonias. How do we make ammonias? We make ammonias with hydrogen and nitrogen. Are they not both, atmospheric condensers? They are indeed. So we just do a bunch of them, or it's probably just one of each, isn't it? And then I guess we feed all of that into an assembly machine, maybe? Probably more like to be a chemical lab, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. Your crystals. Let's power all of this and see how much production it does. So these guys need basically 0.65, 0.03. Wow. Really? 0.21, 0.21, 0.21. It's only making 0.03. I guess maybe the intention would be to use the Chemical Lab 2. I don't think I've unlocked those though. No, I haven't. Wow, okay. If we were to give that some mega speed, we would get to 0.05. Wow. That's a bit of a different scale, isn't it? So we'd need 4 for every one, because we don't need these to run at rate. But we need 4 for each one, so we need 12 of these. Wowza. We've suddenly gone scale. So we need like 12 of them. Is that in build range? Yeah. And then each one only so 0.32 of your Imersite powder. How crushy is that? So it's 1-to-1 basically. Now we crush it. Or 3-to-3. Anyway, same difference. Okay. So we would need to provide 0.32 times 12. So that would be 3.2 plus, say 6. 0.6 rather. So 4. It's about 4. About 4. Okay. These are making like 7 each. Okay, so basically if this what was the speed on that again? 3 seconds, so it's 1 a second basically. So we would probably need, although this has a crafting speed. Oh no, crafting speed of 1. Okay. So we'd need 4 crushers basically. I think. To feed all of them. Okay. And then sulfuric acid. We'd need 12 times that, so we'd need 1.1. No, what am I talking about? 6 we would need. Just over, but that's fine. We don't need it to run at rate. Slight bit under. How much are you're making? 50. So there's going to be plenty going elsewhere, but that's fine. It will just come in by a train. Maybe, eventually, possibly. So there's something wrong there, isn't there? Ah, well, one thing that's wrong is that that pipe's not connected. Okay. So sulfuric acid, fine. So we would need to make 6, wasn't it? Because we need 12. So we need 6, well, yeah, 6 nitric acids. That makes 10. So that's fine. 0.2 rare metals is coming in. 5 from the... Is this doing 5? Got to be doing 5. 56, yeah, no problems. Okay. I like they do that in this as well, that it evens them out. So they're all produced at the same rate for that patch. There's no randomness in the actual individual things. So we needed 6, was it? Yeah, and this is making 10. So if this is making 10, that's fine. But what I need to know then, I don't think I've got any condensers. We don't need that many. We do. So. Yes, next lore video, and it is a proper lore video this time, is coming on next Friday. We'll get into all that in there when I do me outro stuff, but it's about why I think the Shattered Planet was shattered. It feels like I made it about 6.5 years ago, because it has literally been available for our members for 6 weeks or something like that. I can't remember on that one. But I've also done the January one. The January one is my first wish list for Factorio 2.1. How many is that making? So 1.5 a second. We need this to run at half the rate, basically, wasn't it? Well, call it 6. So if we're making 1.5, then we would need 3. Oops. 3, 6. So we need that many of them. What about oxygens? It's a horribly inefficient way of doing these, I believe. 2.25. So just 3 of them. But it becomes a sort of a power question, and we do have quite a lot of spare power. But I suppose the base isn't really doing anything. So numbers-wise, that's what we're talking about. Okay. So we will move this out of the way. Put it up here so the bots will build it. And we will move everything out of the way. I wonder if they'll redo Glever in 2.1. It could use something. Essentially, the biotics just ended up being an oil replacement, which is okay, but it's not as unique as Fulgora. Yeah. I mean, it was quite a last-minute change to Glever. I'm sure, as you know, the feedback from Troopin during the, when he was helping them out, was very, very negative. But they, I don't know to what extent they, were already reworking it. Sounds like they probably were, from what I heard. But Probably want that a bit further up. But yeah, it was kind of. What I wanted, one of the things I want to do, and I confess I want to make it a members exclusive, is a playthrough of the. It isn't the LAN party build because I don't have that. But when I got home, I've said this before, loads of times before. But when I got home, I kind of realised that I had, because I'd been playing it in the evenings as well. You know, we were simply given a code basically. That's that's how all of these things work. You know, when you do a review or whatever, you get a code for the game, and that meant I could just and that's why, because the playtest continued after that. Yeah, people were playtesting it. You know, post the actual LAN party, and it's kind of my big regret. I kind of messed all of that up. I've never done anything like that before. I just wanted to try and play it through and like record it, which just wasn't. I shouldn't have been doing that. I should have been using it as an opportunity to capture footage and doing. Here's what's changed in type videos, and here's how this works, and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, so I messed all of that up myself. But yeah, so and I think I said this at the time as well, that because they were changing it so much, it was actually kind of difficult to play it. And Kleber just kept changing, that whole, what do you call it, the rocks having the, sorry, the back, like the stromatolite type idea was a really late addition. A good one, I quite liked that part of it, but it became a bit sort of a non-thing, I think. I don't know that that's really... It's like conceptually interesting, but in practice, it's not actually that complicated to sort of deal with or anything like that, I don't think, in my opinion. Other people may disagree, but... Because you can just sort of leave it in a box and it... I suppose I think it was meant to be like spoilage, but like good, if you see what I mean. Sort of to give you that... a bit more of a... Well, spoilage isn't all horrible. It also, gives you iron and copper and stuff. What's going on here? Messed this up and I put that on the wrong thing. There you go. But I don't know that it really achieved that effect, basically. I don't know. It really depends on whether, they don't like it, If they're like, well, it's all right, then it's just not, then it's just not going to change it. One of the things I always struggle to kind of express is that and he has this himself, but Kovrix's job in a sense is like more like approving other people's ideas nowadays. It's like, they kind of have suggestions or what have you. And he's like the guy who kind of says yes or no effectively to them. So stuff like that, if Kovrix is perfectly happy with spoilage as it is now, then it just won't change. That's just how it is effectively. Yeah, I certainly agree. I just still don't like it. But it's not for me. I've just said this a lot of times. It's the building there that I find horrendous. The fact that you just can't find nice places to build. It's like they got rid of the cliffs problem here with the redesign. Not the redesign, the redo of the algorithm. I really like the cliffs now, because I do this sort of stuff with filling the gaps, but instead shifted it to clever, and so the terrain is just awful. It's just like awful in all ways. Don't these need powder? They do. Why have I built them so close together then? Because I'm going to have to put powder in as well. I guess I could do powder down the outside, but why do that? Why do that? But I can move that over by one. And swap these over. No, let's do it that way. What are we doing on time? 10 to 7. Oh, I don't know if you were there, but I don't know if you. I sort of mentioned. I guess nobody else was interested. There's a new game from the guy. I keep calling him the guy. I don't know if he is or not. But the person the modder who did Ultra Cube, called Substrate, and that looks very Factorio. It's sort of. Assuming the Factorio devs are now basically, or certainly Govrix is now basically sick of doing Factorio. I'm wondering if that'll be the next proper successor for those of us who don't grok with Satisfactory. So that feels a lot more Factorio than a lot of the other games that people have done. So we need, I guess, if we do the acid first, rare metals and mineral. Yeah, okay. Well, we only need the one. Don't want to cut and paste it. Just copy it. We don't want to put this. If I pop this, maybe just need the one. Those aren't connected, are they, those pipes? No. So if we do maybe like that. It's only really neat to me. Okay. So there's it's like a 1-minute trailer on your YouTubes, so yeah, go and have a look at it. And I mean, you never know with these things; it may all fall apart. But I'm assuming it'll come into early access. Basically, that's sort of my assumption there. That there'll be a early access type situation. Which is why they were doing the trailer, because that's basically. I mean, there's no date yet, but it'll be sometime next year. I guess it will probably go into early access. We'll be able to check it out. Don't really want that there, do I? Just put it there. I do sometimes wonder on them. It's kind of that I know I'm sure a lot of people do, but Dosh kind of said it best, really, of like when he was doing his first of his Satisfactory. Oh look, plastic's finally red. First of his Satisfactory videos of sort of like, why play Satisfactory when I can play Factorio? So I do sometimes wonder if I am really a factory game fan or just a Factorio fan. Where's that actually coming? So this is the rare stuff there, isn't it? Oh, in fact, that's on that belt, isn't it? Because is it this one that needs the rare? Yeah, that one needs the rare metals. So why don't, instead of I splitting it here, why don't I simply is both of these are low demand. Why don't I simply do a simple split? Simply insert it in there. Cool. And there. So we need the oxygens and the blue ones, whatever blue ones are. Let's do, say, something like that. Oh no, it's not pass through, is it? That pox me up before on this. Kind of assume with everything in space age being passed through that these are as well, but they're not. Okay. I've been burned too many times. I can still manage excitement for the future of Factorio. I am peeking out from under my blanket to watch Kitten Space Agency. Is that the Kerbal one, isn't it? Is that the one? I can't believe how badly that was handled. I mean, it is difficult not to get sort of, yeah, depressed and cynical about some of the things, because it does feel like it's that thing of, I don't know, it's like the whole AI thing, you know. It's like, I'm sure, you know, I'm sure there will be some use for it somewhere, but you know, will be fine, as it were. But they've ended up sort of tarring it all with the same brush, you know, like. Because it's that the only, you know, sales pitch that they're giving on it effectively is I'd forgotten why it's got all these fancy colours, pinks and purples. It's really pretty. Well, for Factorio anyway. You know, oh, it's going to save money, and it's going to it's going to just, you know, get rid of jobs basically, and which is like, if you're a gamer, that's not what you don't really want to hear that. Tell me how it's going to make things better. You know, that's what I'd be interested in hearing. But you know, we didn't have to pay 5 artists. It's not a pitch for me. It's not a benefit. But I suppose a lot of it's based on the whole churn out some, you know, slop and, you know, the little piggies elite it sort of thing. You know, because people do just, you know. And I get it, it's an endorphin rush thing, and not rush, but you know, it's that people play these live service games, and it's, you know, it's endlessly exactly the same thing because it's dopamine, isn't it? That's the one. Where it's just doing that same reward loop in your brain, basically. So I get, you know, why it's enjoyable and fun and stuff, because it's giving you that, but yeah, it feels like it's all around that, you know, the CODs and the battlefields and all this sort of stuff. Because as far as they're concerned, it's a product, you know. It's not any kind of, they never say anything, you know, because it's too risky to say anything. Because somebody might get you know, people might not buy the game, and then you've spent a lot of money in order to get nothing. Which is weird, isn't it? It's like a weird contrast from going about movies before. It's 7 o'clock. Going on about movies before, and it's like, I suppose a lot of the blockbustery ones just aren't going to say anything. You know, they don't have any real point. But even then, you know, your Avengers is, yeah, making a point, as it were. That point being, you know, if some weird alien wants to snap his fingers and get rid of half the universe, that's bad. But they're also more grounded in human stuff, you know. Okay, so 7 o'clock. We're nearly there with the Imersite. Should I finish it off? Because it is literally just crush these and... Yeah, let's see if we can finish it off. Right, so... If we maybe go... Yeah. Down here, right? We take these guys. And then maybe... They probably need a bit more room, I think, but... We'll put them... Gonna need to get rid of stone as well, aren't I? You have the ground up new KSP style game on the old KSP people with no commercial affiliation. One of those games, genres that works better as a passion project. D&D time for me. Good luck with the factory. No worries. Hope you have fun with your D&D. Yeah, I'm almost done anyway. I'm really just doing this because we're literally 4 machines away from getting this done. So we might as well finish it off. What we will need is some assembly machines. Making that from sand. Oh, you need water, do you? You need water, do you? I'm not sure about that. How about we just stick it in a active provider then? For the time being. If in doubt, let the bots sort it out. Oh, and that needs to filter to stone. Stone. No, sand, not stone. Right, let's get the bots building this other belt here. Like so. To there, say. And then where's that gone over there? Ah! Bet you better at me. But yes, this needs... And then here on now. And here far wherever you are. Filter that too. Imersite powder, is it? I think. Something like that. That one. That there. That to there. Do that. That one there. That should just be... I'll make sure it is sand though. We have the Imersite coming in. Don't need to set a recipe on that. No, it does it automatically. Cool. Might need more. I don't think it's that fast, but the long-handeds are a bit slow. Here she comes. It's interesting that's still running. That'll bring... Did I connect that up? Probably that did connect that up. Yeah, that isn't it finished because we need to make the lithium. But this gets us the Imersite powder. Yeah, it's going to be fine, isn't it? Cool. Okay, so yes, there we go. Pop the schedule up. I'll say this in the background here. Cool. Awesome. So yes, that is it for today and for Factorio for this weekend. I'll be back tomorrow, as schedule says there. Schedule will be continuing up till Christmas, but that is only a couple of weeks away, as I was stunned to really realise this this week. So I think there's 2 streams of each until Christmas. We will not finish this, so I will pick it up post Christmas. Little Rocket Lab, I am fully intending, which is Sunday stream, fully intending to try and finish for Christmas. If I don't, I might come back and I don't know. I might. Christmas is a bit weird. I was intending to do a load of stuff, but I've sort of changed my plans. And I might do like a big old stream and try and finish it off. I think we're really close to actually doing it, and so it should be doable in this last 2 things. If we finish, by finish, I mean like finishing the story aspect and moving into. I understand it has an end game, a bit like Factorio, where you can just keep launching rockets effectively. So if I finish it in quotes this week, I don't think I will. I'll just do into that endless mode for a little while, but I won't continue with the endless mode. That'll be personal playtime, not least of all because no one's watching. I say that, and there are people watching, but it's very, very, it's done the classic YouTube, lots of people to start with, and now very few, which is fine. I just want to play it through myself. So yes, hoping to finish that by Christmas. If not, I will finish it off after Christmas or a special stream or something, because when I return, I will be taking a longer break at Christmas. It'll be more than a couple of weekends, possibly even a full month. But when I do come back, I'll probably pick up on Satisfactory where I left off. Maybe I won't be as annoyed. But the point is that streams will drop to about 2 hours, I think. 2-hour streams. It'll still be Saturday and Sunday, probably starting at 5, so 5 till 7, just so I've got something to end my weekend on, as it were, end my week, Saturday and Sunday on. But that should free up me a bit more to focus on the videos, which I'm really massively enjoying doing. Not that I don't enjoy this, but it is a significant time commitment. And certainly has, let's be frank, a lot fewer viewers than the videos do. So yes, those are the plans for content for the streaming. As I say, Krastorio 2 will continue after Christmas because it'll be ages. I've done a tiny little bit on Folgora. That's it, off planet wise. We're only really getting into the space age stuff now. Other stuff I usually say, so I stream to both Twitch and YouTube using Restream. So if you're watching on Twitch, you can also watch on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, you can also watch on Twitch. You have your choice of preferred platform, but YouTube is the only one with archived VODs. So that has all of the archive of all of the series that I've done, loads of Factorio, as well as Satisfactory, Tectonica, Disosphere Program. That needs to come back. I don't know why that's taking quite so long to do its next proper version. But there you go, and they're all archived on there, and you will also find my sort of pre-recorded videos, which all sorts of basically all Factorio related content. The main thing is I'm doing a lore series where I examine what I think the lore is for Factorio. The next video in that series will come out next Friday. That will be a video looking at why I think the Shattered Planet was shattered. I've already done a video on how, if you wanted to check that out. Members get early access to all of my pre-recorded videos. If you wanted to join as a channel member, it costs £4.99 or your local equivalent. So you get early access to videos, a few exclusives as well. There's like a retrospective series. That's one of the big things I'll be doing over Christmas, is recording that, where I basically go and look at all the speculation videos I did before release and see how right or indeed how wrong I was. First one was really fun to do, but took blooming ages. But that's a member exclusive. It's very simple to do, but time consuming. I also do like outtakes on the videos because I flub lines and stuff, so I usually do them as a little bonusing member exclusive. But I say the main pitch is those exclusive videos and early access to the main stuff. I'll be totally frank, I'm still thinking I will disable memberships. I might try Patreon or something like that just to see how it works more than anything else. But although I'm very, very appreciative of the members that did sign up, it's not exactly a huge set of people. And it sort of adds on a pressure. I said this on Blue Sky in a post replying to old Steph Sterling, that it changes the dynamic on YouTube. A lot of it, I've done it all for fun, basically, and as a hobby, and because I, like wittering on about the game and all that sort of stuff. When you flip it round to it's a commercial thing, as in, it's a product that I'm selling, it feels really weird. That's fine. And so I'm not entirely sure I like that dynamic. I think if it was a bigger channel and stuff, it make sense. And if you're doing it as like it's part of how you're supporting yourself. I think that's all fair game. But for me, it's just fun. It's just a hobby. So to monetize it feels weird. So yeah, so that's the root cause of why I think I might sort of turn it off. Mentioning socials, if you did want to follow me on any, you can do those there. Blue Sky's the only one. The main thing I do is like post when I go live and like cat videos or pictures rather. So yeah, I'm not a particularly heavy user of social media. So yeah. Is that all me promo stuff? Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. I think tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow on Sunday for the next in the Little Rocket lab series. Where, what am I trying to do? I think I'm doing the final stage of the rocket, third stage, I think, final, something like that. Can't remember. I'll see if I can remind myself. So yes, if you, I suppose the other thing, the members video for January is already live for members. So that is not the Law series, but it is a fit in that slot, which is 7 Things I Want from version 2.1. The idea is that's going to kickstart a new series where I sort of look at your suggestions. So if you want to go on some of my videos, that one, posts and stuff, and put your ideas for what you want in 2.1, then I'll probably be looking at those and discussing those. I think that might be quite fun. Yes, so that's the other thing to know. So yes, if you have been watching, I hope you've enjoyed it and you might consider coming back for another one. I've been Trismegistus. This has been Factorio, Krastorio 2, Spaced Out. Thanks for watching. Cheers.